I
that back.
can't.
Let me
I
run that
can't.
back. All right, we are here again for our weekly discussion from Seriously Amazing on WandaVision episode 5. And wow, so fam, this episode had to be the most mind bending episode we have seen to date. I mean, I was legitimately just like, what? Like, are we serious right now? Especially at the end. And so it was amazing. But let's just kind of free talk for a little bit on what's going through your minds before we hop into kind of our our talking points. What's on your mind by that episode? Whatever's on your chest about this episode, just get off your chest. You might as well go right now.
Wanda's a
Well, we
heartless human.
What
there
you
we
say?
go again. Why is she heartless, son?
Forcing all those people to be in her delusion, literally causing them physical pain, probably mental pain and scarring, just to
Do
live
you
her
remember
delusion.
this? Do you remember this from the episode? She doesn't know how everybody got there.
Oh, sure she doesn't. Sure.
So we got Jam over here talking about Wanda is a devil or something, that she's evil. I don't know, man. She said she don't even know what's going on, bro. She said she don't even know how this all started, man. You gotta give her a pass this time.
You on Team Wanda now, right?
A little bit.
A little bit. What about Amber? We haven't heard from Amber. Let's hear what's going on, Amber.
Well, I'm kind of like that character Monica Rambeau, where I got surprised because I didn't think that she had any control of anything going on in Westview. But now we see that, however it started, she has been able to take control a little bit. So I'm just as surprised as her.
Oh
And,
snaps!
my heart is grieving for her, kind of. But I don't
For,
think she's doing anything crazy, evil, or anything purposely.
Dang, you thought she
so
was
you
a
understand that
saint.
she's going through a hard time.
Yeah.
Amber thought she was a saint. Oh heck no! You thought she was completely
Oh, yeah.
innocent?
I did. Last time I did,
What?
remember? Yes, I did. I was like, she's being mind controlled. I still think that there's a lot that, is out of her control. And I don't even think she'll be able to keep the babies. I feel like it's gonna
Oh
get
snap!
really,
Dang.
really bad.
You trying to take her
Yeah.
sanity? You trying to take her children?
She's trying to take her husband. Like,
Oh
she is killing
snap!
everything.
Yo, that is all the more reason why I think Magneto needs to show up. Like at this point, she has no family left. Like if her dad shows up, that would just be like the most, for me, that would be the most heartwarming moment in the unit. Like if he just came on and said, I can even imagine a line. She could just say, "You took everything, so I have no one," and he would be like, "Well, my dear, that's not true." And then like she recognized his voice, and then the episode go on. Yeah.
That would be nearly impossible. I don't think she knows that Magneto's her real dad. I think she
Oh,
believes her real dad has been killed with her real mother in
oh.
when the bombs hit. So I
You
don't
know
even
what?
think that'll
What if? Okay, I can see what you're saying, but what if? All right, see now I'm kind of going out on a limb. I'm stretching it, but what if?
you by yourself out there?
Probably. What if some sort of mental block was put in her mind to make her believe that you know that those people were, because what I think happened is that her parents, somehow something happened, and so she ended up getting raised by, her and brother got raised by like kind of these people who adopted them or took them in or whatever. That's what I think. So I'm thinking maybe she might have some suppressed memory or somewhere deep inside, or maybe she believes that her original parents died but they really didn't. Maybe in her mind they died and then she got raised by these adopted parents, but I think that somewhere in there she knows that she had other parents. I don't know, I'm stretching it, but I want my Magneto moment, so I'm sorry.
But was your heart warm to the Quicksilver moment?
Oh, no, cause it's not even her. It's not even Pietro. Who is this guy? I mean, they just grabbed somebody
Like,
from another
some
timeline.
random.
That's messed up. That was
I
messed
mean,
up.
again, we're moving into right now. We're about to move into the multiverse of madness with the Doctor Strange movie, which Wanda's going to be a part of. So, being that we're moving into a multiverse, I think it makes perfect sense that they pulled Quicksilver from another version, if you will, of Marvel. I think
Yeah,
it makes
I thought
perfect
so
sense.
too. I really thought so too. And, I'm not really caught up on like, I don't really keep track of all Marvel. I just watch the movies but I saw some of X-Men and I recognized him immediately. Um, and it just kind of made me feel like, they were where we're really going to be moving into that whole, madness Doctor Strange thing going on. I mean, especially because, it's we found out that with whatever radiation is going on, in the field, in the force field, it's also emitting a broadcast and people are being casted. And that's exactly what happened. It's just a recasting of her brother, which is why she was so confused. But like he looks more like Quicksilver than he does her brother, and like he's got like the hair, but like he's there as her brother. So it was way too meta. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but my thing is that it's just really weird because as far as we've seen, she technically cannot like fabricate things. Like she doesn't have the power to literally, she has the power to manipulate but not to create. Um unless she's using existing matter or something like that. Like even her children were created from herself, so she's an existing whatever, so it's kind of a sub whatever.
Hmm.
So where the heck did her brother come from? Like, was he well, she can't fabricate things, so is somebody posing as her brother? Is somebody appearing like her brother? Or is, because it just don't make sense. Like, she can't fabricate anything, so it's just kind of weird.
He could have been pulled from a different time, a different universe,
Bro,
the multiverse, if you will.
she,
That's what I'm thinking. That's not a
by
fabrication.
who? She doesn't have that type of power.
Well,
We
this is
don't
where
know
Dan
that.
needs to come in because he knows all of this. Where is he?
Who? You said
Who
who?
comes in?
No, I'm saying where's Jam?
Oh,
I see
Where
his
you
name
at,
in there.
Jan?
As far as all the multiverse stuff goes,
Yeah, what's your thoughts?
I think it makes perfect sense of why we would have a multiverse. Because for one, I think that this Quicksilver would be old as dirt. Like he'd be an old man to begin with. So he's even pulling from the same timeline as Dark Phoenix's X-Men. Because he looks like that back in like the 19 what was it
92, 92.
92?
Yeah.
And we're in the 20 we're in like 2017 if we're going by in-game standards. So it's pretty like he'd be old, but he looks.
But
Mhm.
but again, dealing with a multiverse, it doesn't necessarily have to be that timeline where the stuff happened in 1992. It doesn't have to be.
True, that's true.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
But
I
I
don't know
mean,
about
what
this
y'all
one.
saying is it's a bit hard for me to swallow. You're saying that, like, as far as we've seen, Wanda only has power over the things that exist within the bubble. Like, she can't bring something out of nothing. Like, everything in the bubble was there before. It just appears to be something different than what it actually is. But you're saying she actually, she actually went. She somehow conjured matter from an entirely different universe outside of the bubble, or maybe he exists in that bubble just in a different timeline. That's
I'm throwing
crazy.
this out there. This is what I'm thinking is happening. I'm thinking that this bubble. I'm leaning more and more into the whole Mephiston thing. So I'm gonna keep on
Oh
rocking with
snap!
that. I think Mephiston heard when she was talking to her kids about her dead dog, or about their dead dog, about how you're not allowed to bring things back. And they're like, "Did you have a brother or something?"
Oh,
Like they brought that up, and she's like, "Yeah, I did, but I can't bring him back. Sucks." And Mephiston's over there, stroking his goatee, like, "Oh, really?" And then proceeds to bring that into her reality that he made for her.
yeah.
So you thinking Mephisto made this reality that she's currently in?
Yeah, and it's just letting her play God in it, to be honest.
But why? Did she pull a Spider-Man and sell her soul?
Possibly, like I don't know. I don't want to get into all that because I'm anti-Wanda right now.
Don't be anti-Wanda, yeah.
I am. I'm all the
We
way
gotta have a long
anti-Wanda.
talk, son.
No,
But
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 yeah,
no,
how?
look. But here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being that we're talking about Mephisto, we're talking about the children, and Wanda saying, "Hey, you can't just bring dead things back." In Wanda's perfect little bubble, everything is sunshine and rainbows. So why is the dog? Why is there a dead dog in Wanda's world? In Wanda's world, that's what you call it, Wanda's world. Why is there a dead dog in Wanda's world?
And
Right.
why are there no other children? Just as she was talking with Vision, he's like, there are no other kids, only our kids. All these kinds of anomalies.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just don't want to deal with other people's kids. It's Wanda's world.
stop, stop it.
Right.
Next thing you know, all the children are just the inanimate objects around the world because she
You see
convey
how
matter to other things.
you see how they're growing up so fast, right?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always when they feel uncomfortable. It's to make them. It's to because they think that they'll be able to get what they want if they're a little bit more. I don't want to say mature, but if they have more of a ability to take in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also we can't ignore the fact that we learned, that Wanda, well, I don't want to say resurrected because Vision was never really alive. He's not a created, well,
Well,
I mean, mechanically, artificial
yeah.
intelligence, but he's not like an actual created being. So, we were wondering about that a couple of weeks ago, like, and now we know what timeline we're on, that this is after Thanos and after people have vanished, have returned. And so now we know why, Vision wasn't able to return and she had to go into the lab herself and put him back together, as it were.
Yeah. Well, here's the question I have for you, Amber. What do you think about this? Does Vision really have the Mind Stone in his head, or does he just look like he's alive and he's really just walking around as the gray husk?
Oh yes, definitely. He's walking around as the gray husk. That was so
So
sad.
awful.
The other episode when she looked up and she saw like him as he really was, like dead.
Yeah.
It was so sad. Yeah.
Remember this. Remember this. Wanda saw Vision die twice. She had to kill him the first time. Then
Right.
Thanos brought him back and ripped his little brain out.
Mhm.
She's wrecked. Go give her a break, son.
Yeah,
No,
she's
she doesn't
right.
get a break. No, no.
She is controlling. And I also want to know, like, how all of those sword people ended up getting there. And then how they were able to take over the town to a point where even the people who don't live around the town, their minds are wiped. When they were talking to this is the episode before episode 4, but when they were talking to the state police officers and they were like, this place doesn't exist. And then they like drove, it was weird, like how did all of those people even get there in the first place? That's why I think that, she is mind controlling other people, but I think that she herself is also being mind controlled.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think like everybody else is a pawn and she's more of like a knight or something. Or whatever.
Okay.
So if she's being mind controlled, right? Why is she perfectly fine with everything that Vision's bringing to her attention? She literally tried to roll credits on my man. She tried to roll
Oh man.
credits on him.
No, she didn't try. She rolled credits on him.
Yeah, she did. She straight up rolled the credits. She's like, oh, I can't roll credits.
Yeah.
That's
That was
why
the best part of the
I just don't
episode.
buy it. I know she knows what she's doing. She's doing it on purpose. She just doesn't want to say that she's doing it on purpose. She's scumlording right now.
Vision had to get down on his knees and tell her, like, hey, babe, like, what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Husband and wife, like, what you're doing is wrong. So,
And she still ain't go for it.
Yeah. What if?
I mean, they're discussing it. They're planting the seeds. What do you say, Justin?
All right. So no, I'm just throwing this back out there. But what if the kids somehow fabricated or something Quicksilver? What if it was their doing?
that is brilliant.
Ooh.
I think that's
Oh,
a really
snap.
great little, connection that you just made. I think it's fully possible. And within, their own motivations.
But how would they even know what he looks like?
That's
Well,
why he doesn't look familiar.
Yeah.
That's why he's unrecognizable to her. That's pretty good, Amber.
Or
It's good, Justin.
because I'm thinking Cause dang, what was I about to say? Yeah, because remember the kids also knew somehow that Wanda had the powers to do everything. Like, how did they know she was doing all of this, or that she could bring back the dead according to them? Like, how did they know that stuff too? You know?
That's why they make me so uncomfortable. Everything, everything that, like, back in episode 3 when you had the sentient stork that was way too sentient, like all these little things, it just makes me way uncomfortable. Like, I would rather watch Wanda, like, lift really heavy things that are like a million times her weight than, do this whole Twilight Zone thing. It makes me so uncomfortable. I don't like the kids, I'll be honest.
Do you
Oh,
need me to
snap.
run it back?
For the
Should we go back
children.
to this time?
Oh
What
my
about you
god.
guys?
You anti-children over there, huh?
Oh,
We're
I'm
sorry,
actually
kids, if there any kids watching here.
No, I'm definitely, I wish that there were more kids, that's why I brought it up actually. I thought that was a really interesting point that Vision had made, when he's starting to realize that he himself is being manipulated. And once he finds out, just how bad it was, and his will and everything, they also mentioned that, that he didn't want to be put back together. It would have been great if there were other kids in the town so that the kids could run outside and not every time they go outside like their dog is dead.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
I think it's a dark show.
No, but that was, yeah, it is kind of dark. I kind of like that dichotomy though between like the whole peachy serene life and then but really behind the surface it's all is really darkness and craziness, which which has a lot of different messages. But well, going back to one thing that you said earlier, Cody, was why did the dog die? I think that's a good question. And I don't know what y'all think about that, because I mean I have my own theories. I get, well, no, I haven't really thought it through. I know I've heard some things, but I don't know what I really think independently about that. I mean, it just takes me back. One thing I do know is that Agnes is incredibly suspect, just in every regard. Like, if you didn't think Agnes was suspect after this episode, I don't know what to say, because she knows everything. She's way too sketchy, and she killed the dog. In my opinion, she killed the dog, and I don't know why, but she did.
I mean, if she killed the dog, would she have killed the dog to put Wanda in a position to raise the dog back up to, I don't know, what would be the purpose of killing the dog? To show Wanda that she doesn't have control over everything?
I mean, it's really tough to say because in the beginning of the episode, when Agnes entered the house, she was like, "Do you want me to start from the top?" As if she herself thought that Wanda was also an actor. So she's very confusing, Agnes. That's kind of why I like her. It's just like, again, Twilight Zone. Like, this is just so freaky crazy.
See?
I had expected, during the conversation about the dog when she's with the kids, for us to for her to expose herself a little bit more, to at least make myself feel a little bit more comfortable as the audience, but she didn't give us any of that. She just kept playing along as this weird, Also, I just want to mention, like, side note, it was so funny that, like, as soon as the 80s sitcom starts, like, the neighbor, she just walks into the house,
Oh,
she
snap.
doesn't have to knock. I noticed that.
Right. Jam, you was about to say something over there.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep bringing it back. Like, even when Agnes asked her if I should run it back, she was asking like she was the director of it all. Like, ooh,
Ooh.
do I need to retake that line?
That's
Perhaps
Yeah,
I
she
should,
was.
try that again, director. And like, if she doesn't know what's going on, guys, why would she just walk out of the bubble, right, and go, "Yo, do you? I'ma do me. Freak off. I'ma kill all of you."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
when
way
she walked out of that bubble, in her get down suit, I'm like, oh crap, yo, it's about to go down. She had
Right.
the burgundy leather on, her hair was straight.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing, guys. She knows what she's saying to Vision. Like, I don't know what's going on. Meanwhile, she walking out of the bubble, got everybody's gun cocked at the director. Like, yo, do it again. I dare you. Do it again. And freak around and find out. She literally just said, "Freak around and find out."
Yeah, she was like, "This is the one warning that you're gonna get." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
I
That's why
mean, think about this. Go ahead, Amber.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's why I feel so much like Monica Rambeau. You know, she was fighting for her because of her own experience having been in the bubble with her. And you know, I feel just as shocked, and not in a bad way, in a good way. Just like, you know, things are complicated. We'll find out what the deal is either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all in all, the director of the sword when with the FBI when he sent the drone in, he was going to kill Wanda. He was going to kill the two kids and whoever else was standing there. She should
Good.
have came out that bubble slapping people. And he's
Good.
saying good. He's saying good because every bit
Good.
have been all this collateral damage. You hear this
My
guy?
man said, my man said, take the shot.
Take the shot. Yeah, he did.
He's going to hit him with a predator drone.
He's a
Predator drone.
2 words. Predator drone.
Predator drone.
Dang.
Yeah.
So
I was in there too. I was like, yeah, shoot him. Get her. Get him. You and
Yeah.
your 2 devil spawn. Get out of here.
Snap.
Yeah, so I mean, we've talked about
Exactly.
a lot of the moments. Was there a favorite moment for
Roll
during this?
credits.
Roll
Definitely.
credits, bro. Roll
Definitely.
credits. She said,
Definitely
"Oh,
roll
can't
credits.
I?"
Oh, can't I?
Credits start rolling, and she walked away. That was the
It
best.
took me like 2
That was
seconds to get it, but I lost it when I got it. I was like, wait, what?
that was the best.
Yeah.
Absolute best right
So
there.
far, that was the best moment of the series. Yo. What you
Yeah,
mean? That
for
was
Oh
real.
the
wow.
best.
Just the roll
The
credits
best.
and the
Oh
walkout. The
snap.
walkout and the roll credits.
That's gonna be a meme. I
Top
can see
tier.
it for ages to come.
What about y'all? Y'all favorite moments?
Hmm. I gotta think. Let me see.
I think, well, I'll tell you that I really liked the FBI character. I knew that he was going to be really altruistic as soon as he started, you know, calling the astrophysicist by her, you know, by her title, calling her doctor. I was like, oh gosh, this is a really nice guy.
Wait, who you talking
And I
about?
thought it,
Jimmy Woo?
yeah, Agent Wu.
Oh.
Um, I think it was really, honestly, I can't give you a moment. I'll just say that my favorite set was the like the multi response set. Just seeing all these different agencies, all these like make believe agencies, you know, these Marvel agencies, and they just have like the one FBI agent. Everybody else is like, you know, like way higher, and then they just have this one guy who's like this super nice FBI agent who's just trying to talk to the woman, like, who's doing this to you? I just thought it was really funny.
So I guess Jimmy Woo, that's your I guess your series crush. I mean not crush, but I guess he's your favorite
Oh
character.
snap!
We'll see. You know, he's definitely interesting right now. But
Yeah.
but let me be more
I
specific now
love me
that I'm
some
thinking
Woo.
about it. Um,
Okay.
moment, I guess, would be, yeah, I'll just use a boring one. You know, when they try to talk to her and it failed. All of those moments that we see that she
Mm.
cuts out of the final product on the screen when they're trying to talk to her, when things of color, you know, like you know, blood and the helicopter, which was a, you know, a drone, all these other, you know, these extra bubble products, you know, making their way in. I thought that was interesting. So I'll say, you know, the moment when they were looking, the first time when they were looking at you know, in the 60s when she was at the pool, you know, it was great for development. And you know, we had no idea what was going on, and I guess it was a really great place in, you know, keeping pace of the episode of what would be revealed eventually. I
Mm.
think it's a good time stamp.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I had a favorite moment in this episode, but I mean, cause the ending, the Quicksilver moment, I guess it just got me so excited for what might be. You know, I'm still on Team Magneto, so I don't care. But if this is where they go with this, bro, I'm falling in love. So I don't know.
I,
That was what?
no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My bad. My bad.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just.
I wouldn't expect Magneto, yo.
Nah.
You want
You
too
don't want
much
him to
right
get his
there.
hopes
You're
up.
shooting too high right now, yeah.
You are. You shooting way too high.
Come on, man. Let me dream. Let me dream. I'm a dream.
I can't, yo.
I'm a dream away. I'm a dream. I'm a dream. All right, so what character is holding this series together for you, or is like your must see in love with character?
Wanda.
Wanda. Okay. Why
You're the
Wanda?
Go ahead,
weird.
son. Go ahead, son. Why Wanda? Why Wanda, son?
You
Guys,
hate Wanda.
you're a Wanda apologist right now. You got like Max 17 apologetics. You got like WandaVision, Wanda
Oh, snap.
apologetics,
It's funny.
Stop, yo.
Wanda Maximoff apologetics. That's you right
Stop, yo.
now.
Stop, yo. She helped save the world, yo.
Meanwhile, she's putting
Oh,
thousands in mental torture.
Universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me it is Wanda. I mean, just simply because all of this is centered around her, and though she's affecting the people around her, and um, again, I feel for Wanda because of all the stuff that she's been through, having to kill Vision. He gets brought back to life. He gets killed again. She gets warped out. Then she has to face Thanos again. Almost kills him. Airstrikes coming. She's going through all of this emotional turmoil, and people handle. I understand that people handle any type of emotional whatever differently. Lost people handle that differently, and so she's a superpowered being, and this is how she's handling it. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily right. I know it's not right, but at the end of the day, this is how she handles it, and this is what makes it interesting. I like when they're able to make the good guys kind of go back and forth from being on the good side. Then they do some things to put them on the bad side, do some things, just like it was with Captain America Civil War. Captain America's been the good
yeah.
guy, the American, whatever, whatever. But then when he comes to make that choice to go under the government or be able to stay freelance, he shifts to the left
Mm-hmm.
and making him essentially the anti-hero or the bad guy, if you will, according to certain people's views. And so I
Mm-hmm.
really like that. I like that whole thing. So with Wanda, taking the town hostage, she's not killing people. These people can recover. So I can kind of deal with that. Now, had she had gone straight Hulk or Wolverine, then it might be a little bit different. You know what I mean? But she's holding people hostage, and she doesn't know. Well, like according to the guy that Vision talked to when he cleared his mind so he could talk, and then when Vision talked to her, she's like, "I'm not hurting anybody." She doesn't know that these people are actually being hurt, you know what I mean? Because they feel all her suppressed, they feel all her pain. Basically, he was saying, he feels this weight of depression or the pain or whatever, but she doesn't know that. It doesn't make it right, but I think it makes it interesting because it
Yeah.
gives her layers to kind of deal with and unpack, and she's gonna have to iron this stuff out. So I really like the whole. I'm still for Team Wanda.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's
Yeah, me
fair.
too. I'm very, yeah, that she's the one holding it down for me. Not only because obviously, this is her story, but why is it her story? What is it that she doesn't have that she wants? And that other characters, have, I mean, want, that may be different than her wants, that is creating all of this conflict. Um, I never really paid attention to much of what was going on with her in the other Marvel movies beforehand. I mean, I wasn't really a fan of Ultron, and other things. And but when they looked at her past in that debrief with the all of the agencies, it was really dark. You know, I thought it was interesting that the director was talking about how like she had gotten radicalized, after she lost her parents to the airstrike. Her and her brother had gotten radicalized. And no one else really had an opinion about it. They were like, I mean, I guess they weren't going to say anything. They're like, we just want to figure this out and go home and make sure that people are safe. And obviously, Wu, who I mentioned earlier, he's like, oh, but like it's a little bit more complicated than that. And I didn't really care about the politics of it all. I just felt like really, really bad for her.
Mhm.
And not only for her, but because like this is a reality. This is the reality, for just people within the Marvel universe. So I thought it was interesting when immediately afterward they had another commercial, and it was, I can't remember what the product was, but it was called Lagos, as in Lagos, Nigeria, where it was one of the places where it was one of her major failures. But like things break and things mend. She was able to redeem herself and become an Avenger, and actually
Yeah.
end up saving the whole universe or whatever, along with the other Avengers. So I think, it's great that they have ways of kind of, you know, just, I don't want to say humanizing, but sort of like, making these annoying, superhero characters in this make believe world like actually interesting.
Yeah.
So that's why she's my number one for WandaVision. I mean, obviously Vision is great too, but there are just way too many questions about what's going on with Vision, but we know a little bit more about what's going on with Wanda.
Yeah.
Probably soon Vision though will be more interesting to me because once he finds out, like, it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah. No, that's some good points. It makes me think. You remember how in Endgame that I think Captain America, he was in like that kind of like recovery or like whatever program where you could kind of like talk about how you felt after the blip. Was it Captain America who was in that, like the
That was
Yeah,
little?
Captain
that's
America.
all. Mhm.
Yeah, like it just makes you think about um what programs are in place for, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, for superheroes, because after you go through something like that, having had to defend the universe and having lost,
Hmm.
you're gonna need somebody to be like kind of sit down and talk with, and make sure you're okay. What you got, Cole?
That's what was so great about Iron Man
Charles
3. Like, he
Xavier.
was the first depressed
Yeah.
Avenger ever. It was great. He
You
didn't
said
have
who?
any help. He figured it out on his
Oh,
own.
Cap.
Yeah.
Iron
No,
Man.
no, Iron Man, Tony Stark.
Oh,
Way
well,
back in 2012 or whenever that came out.
Tony
Pause. I'm
Stark.
gonna have to pause you there.
I think he just buries stuff. Honestly.
He does. And that's why he ended up sacrificing. Anyways, no, go ahead, Cody.
I'm gonna have to pause you there. I think Hulk was the first one because the
Okay.
Hulk movie
Oh.
that came out before the Avengers, that's kind of tied in there because they had Iron Man appear at the end of that, and he had to learn how to deal with his emotions and everything by himself in a cabin somewhere in a third world country, so he can know when to transform, when not to transform, to have
Mhm.
a bit more of a control. Does that count?
Think that
It does.
counts?
It does. I think it's like the first iteration of superhero self therapy.
But I
Radioactive
think
superhero.
But I think though, like what Justin was saying, like Charles Xavier, that it would be perfect for people with superpowers to really talk to Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
Although Charles be doing some questionable things, he'll take something out of your mind or try to barricade it off, whatever.
Yeah.
So when something major happens, it explodes, and then you explode. But for the most part, if he's not playing mental Tetris with your brain, I think Charles Xavier might be a good way for heroes to kind of decompress and therapy, if you will. But son, we didn't really hear what keeps you focused. What character do you keep coming to WandaVision for?
Vision on a lesser scale, but on a greater scale, Agnes.
Oh, snaps.
I like Agnes a lot.
Mm.
Just because, like, she's obviously a bad person. Like, she's obviously a bad gal. And she's like, it just seems like she wants to break Wanda's psyche in a way. Like, she keeps shattering. Like, every time Agnes is around, something major happens. She's like, oh, you need me to do that again? Boom! Scene shuts down. Hey, I found your
Snap.
dead dog in this shrub. Boom! Everything shuts
Snap.
down. Hub and
I
her
didn't.
talking in the background. Boom! Everything shuts down. Like, every time Agnes is around, something major happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
I
feed your kids alcohol so that they go to sleep. Yeah, this will work.
Mm.
snap. I didn't even think of it like that, son.
So
But
yeah,
you're right.
I come
Yeah.
back to for Vision and Agnes because I think Agnes is a real piece of work and I like it.
Yeah.
Can I be 100 with you guys?
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I was never a Vision fan. Not
Oh
even in
wow.
the movies. I was like
me neither.
Vision, like he got tossed around. Like Vision, you don't even have no hands, bro. You know what
Right.
I mean? You got the Mind Stone. You an android, and you can't fight. Like, what are we
Everybody got to
doing?
save you, Vision, like victim.
Right? He was a
Yeah.
victim.
Yeah.
But I am starting to like Vision more
Yeah.
during the WandaVision series. But when
Yeah.
he was all full blown superhero, it was like Vision, what are you doing? Like, whose man is this? Get him. Somebody get him.
Oh snaps.
And I think these two characters are like, because Like, even in the show, like Wanda doesn't even have like a superhero name. She's just Maximoff. Like, nope, she doesn't even have enough. Like, she's got so much going on with her, and yet she's so ill known that they don't even give her like a cool superhero name like everybody else.
This is probably when they're going to start calling her Scarlet Witch
Yeah.
because of what happened in this town, maybe.
So I think that's cool
Yeah.
because
What did they call her
she
before?
doesn't have any like character development. She's always just the chick who's kind of been in the background. Even Thanos is like, I don't even know your name.
Yeah.
That
Dude.
was rough.
If they
They
here's the
did
scary
great.
part though. Here's the scary part. If she gets the nickname because something really bad happens, that'll be really scary because I mean this is kind of dark, but it seems like they kind of got these dark undertones. What I'm thinking is, what if everybody in this town dies, and that's how she earns the name of Scarlet? I mean, that's dark, but
They're
that'll be
already dead.
crazy. Oh my gosh, Tony said, "Yo, chill, yo, on some Sixth Sense stuff."
Stop.
Yo,
Now, I think the dark part would be that she held all these people hostage and was bewitching their minds, if
Yeah,
you will.
she's throwing a hex on
That's
literally
not that.
everyone.
That's not dark enough to call somebody a witch. I mean, you gotta do
I
something.
mean, the girl is already saying that the bubble is a hex. She's already calling the bubble a hex.
Hmm.
And a hex is associated with a witch already.
Yeah, they
I
could dress it
know,
up as
but
much as they want to with science and be like, oh, it's the exact shape of a hexagon, but like, there's some really questionable stuff
Yeah.
going on here. And that's why I keep, riding the middle ground, the middle lane. Like, I really think that she is mind controlling and she's also being mind controlled. I really can't forget what we were talking about the other week, Jam, when you were mentioning, we were talking a little bit about the comics and about the kids, and I guess we'll get there when we talk about what we're looking forward to. Just make note of that.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, for me, it's Wu. I'm sorry, Wu and Darcy. I just love the chemistry between them. Like, they my comic relief. Like, I love Wanda. Everything y'all said was great and actually pretty amazing. But no, I mean, I'm not gonna say they're my favorite characters, but besides Wanda and whatever, definitely Darcy and Wu, because like, dude, they just make the series so fun. Like, you could go from somebody literally just almost dying to just Wu saying the dumbest thing out his mouth, and it just be so good. And so for me, I'm loving the chemistry. I'm loving it. But all right. So, okay, we got that squared away. So besides that, is there anybody or was there anything or anyone about this episode that you didn't like?
Right,
Wanda.
I side too. Obviously,
get
tell
us.
us more, Jam.
Well, I'm gonna start because y'all did those. I don't like how they got the wrong Quicksilver. I'm gonna just be real. Like, I liked it, then I didn't like it because I'm like, this is
No,
stupid. What you say?
you still picking my man Quicksilver apart, yo.
Yeah, yo, because I'm like, yo, what's going on here, yo? But anyway, I love that at the same time because Magneto was his father. So, yes. But, no, I don't know. What did I dislike? I don't know. I can't really say.
I think if I had to dislike something, if I had to pick something to dislike, it would be the guy who told him to take the shot. You know what I mean? Look, if you want to,
Oh, yeah, we
We're the
hate
same
him.
Yeah.
mind right now.
so if you want to take, and look, I get it. People are being held hostage. She has superpowers. You don't really know what's going on with people. She could hurt people, whatever. So from his standpoint, I get if you have to take the shot. I don't have a problem with that. But he wanted to take the shot with two kids, and I believe there was another bystander standing right there, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? And so, other than that, like I get, you got a job to do. You got to get these people rescued or whatever. But you're going to take a missile shot. This wasn't a gunshot. This was a drone, a predator drone, and he was going to take the shot. So if I had to not like something, it would be that guy. So
Yeah, I'm totally with you there, Cody. I think also in terms of like the lives of the characters and just so much conflict, because we can't forget that Monica grew up with this man and that Monica is like Captain Marvel's niece, and they mentioned her a couple of times, and it's just very complicated. When she vanished, he took over the industry. I mean, the company soared, all of this kind of stuff. And of course, I want to like him because he's a competent man. But here he is, just wanting to kind of clear the field, as you were saying, with the missile. And if we want to talk about, well, these are agencies and they're government agencies for the most part. So if you want to talk about what this is going to mean for geopolitics around the world, if they hear that this, Wanda Maximoff has, either she kidnapped people or, she was kidnapped as well, or whatever, how much she was involved, doing all of this mind control. And then, the situation doesn't really get resolved. It just sort of like moves into a new phase because of this missile that was that struck them. It's just a recipe for disaster. Yeah, I think I didn't like when she turned the I thought it was kind of wise when she turned the guns on him. She's not an idiot. And I thought it was also really altruistic of her when she didn't have like not one of the soldiers shoot him, and that she just, went back into the bubble herself. Like there's just a lot of, goodness kind of coming out left and right from these very questionable characters. And, we might find that from him, but, I definitely, his role was very disruptive, kind of. Not in a bad way.
If I'm to play defendant, if I'm to play the defendant to your prosecution of this man,
Go ahead.
from what I can remember, I don't remember there being any extra bystanders. I didn't see an extra bystander anywhere. However, the kids, if there was a bystander, yeah, I think that's wrong. But I mean, if you're gonna blow up Maximoff and her two kids, you don't know where these kids come from. You don't know what they are. They kind of they're there. There's no way she could have had them, normally. So if we're going to go, right? No, hold on. If we're going to go up here, if this is not allowed to be a person, neither are these two kids. I don't care. They're soulless for all I care. They're soulless creatures. Yeah.
So I don't know whose son that is. I blame parenting. I blame parenting.
They are. There's no real conception here.
But here's the thing.
Dang, Jam.
We know that from the outside looking in. This agent doesn't know that. You said it yourself starting this conversation. You said you don't know where these kids came from. You said it yourself. The agent doesn't know where these kids came from. So there's no way that this agent can do this thinking that that's okay. Okay. The agent can't do it. You can, being a viewer.
Look. Because they had Rambo come in there. So they already know that Rambo delivered those two kids from her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not, unless she's being if she's being promiscuous in there with somebody else, Vision ain't having kids. It's not possible.
All right. Now pause. Here's the thing. They don't know the science of how a mutant or a special somebody who has the energy of the reality stone and whatever other stones that she has in her that helped her get her powers. They don't know what childbearing would be like for a person like that. Mm-hmm. We have Rambo helped her deliver her kids. Congratulations, Rambo. But through a lot of that, Rambo was under mind control. They still don't have enough facts to say demon spawn or whatever. These kids are soulless creatures. They don't have enough facts. All they know is this superpowered being who can do things that aren't normal has two children that probably aren't normal. So can we really say that if she got pregnant, it would take her 9 months? We can't say that.
We can't. But based off of biology, you have to have two beings. And look, if they don't got the details, they can take the shot. They can risk it and save everybody else there because nobody else's kids around. But you get to have your kids, Predator drone.
Oh
Of
God.
course not.
I think, from their perspective, I think they do know enough to know that Vision technically isn't alive, because as we were saying, where in the world did honestly, do you guys know where the stones went after everything went down?
They put him
They were
back.
turned into go ahead.
They put him back. Remember?
But
Back to where?
in one reality, they've been Thanos said that they were turned into atoms or something.
Yeah,
Oh
he broke
yeah.
them.
But
He used the stones to break the stones.
Yeah.
but they were turned into atoms. So essentially, their atoms are still around. So if somebody's powerful enough, they can put the stones back together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Theoretically,
Right.
Well,
That's a lot of atoms to gather up.
yeah,
maybe.
this just got like really confusing because I'm thinking that that Vision isn't actually alive. Like that's where I'm kind of with Jam on this whole you know uh, how did those children even come about, with the second set of whatever, the sperm or whatever, because we have the eggs, but who fertilized her,
Right. Like
like
even
Uh,
how
Vision's like, what? How
Yeah.
did this happen? Like what?
is does he really have the mind stone, is
No.
he
He's
really
dead. He's dead. Even the Sword
exactly.
guys were like, she came in, busted in, and stole his body. So he's absolutely dead.
Mm-hmm.
um, now here's the thing. But he has his own mind. He has his own will because he's going against her. So there's something there. And here's a question. Well, besides the fact that okay, we know biology and it takes two to tango, or whatever, but pe- people don't know the biology of somebody who has been endowed with one of these stones. They don't know the biology. There's no science for that. There's no science for it. All right,
You,
so
you
I get what you're saying. Naturally, it needs two to tango. But if somebody has been endowed with these powers, you can't necessarily say, you know what, take the shot.
you
But
know what though?
I
talking
can
about,
take the shot.
They brought him back. Okay.
But you know what's crazy though? This conversation just opened my eyes to what I think is going on. I think Hayward and Sword, like y'all said this before, but I think this is his primary motivation. Y'all said they were probably using Vision's body to make a weapon, right? I don't believe that body was handed over to them, because do you remember when Wanda came out the bubble? She said, "I have everything." What could she said to Monica? "I have everything I could possibly want. What could you possibly offer me? I have everything that I want." And then she said, "And no one's going to take it from me again." And she looked Hayward directly in his face when she said that. So it seems to me that somehow Sword confiscated the body from Wanda against her will. That's what I think happened. And I think
think
that
about it.
they're there to get Vision's body back. I think that's Hayward's primary motivation. He doesn't even really care about the situation. He wants Vision's body back. Yo, this guy's evil, yo. I can't say yo.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Remember, when Vision died, Wanda was blinked away. She was taken out of the equation. And so
Oh,
then
that's
they
right.
Right.
confiscated Vision's body after that battle in Wakanda. They confiscated the body then, and then she
Mm.
came back and she's still like, "Oh, this is my husband's body," and so she gonna go get her husband's body. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
this is what happens from there. But here's the thing too: if Vision is a machine and an AI and all that stuff, right? But when Vision, and this is what I'm talking about, the power of the stones. When Vision now gets the Mind Stone, does he become something else other than just a machine?
I
Because
think
the
so.
Mind Stone is one of those stones that were part of the creation in the Marvel Universe. Does he
Mhm.
become something more than machine when he has that Mind Stone?
I think
Jam,
so.
you think
Yeah,
so?
definitely.
I absolutely think so.
Mm-hmm. What makes you
So
ask that
Yeah, I
though?
think that.
is it possible for him to procreate then?
Yes, if he was
Oh.
alive and not a dead husk holding together by witch magic,
I think if
probably.
he had the mind
Mm-hmm.
stone, then he would be able to procreate, but not without.
But I mean, at
But
the same
here's the
time,
thing.
he can't eat. He doesn't have a respiratory system. He doesn't have a digestive system.
He doesn't have a
And
digestive
so
system.
who's to say he has reproductive organs? But like you were also saying, Cody, again, who's to say even about these, stone influenced superheroes. Like, who knows how they work? You know, this takes me back to Civil War. Like, I don't want them around. Let's regulate them.
Oh snap!
Like, you know what?
Can't have you guys reproducing like mushrooms. No, can do.
Well, I'm sorry, Amber. I'm going to be on Captain America's team. We'll meet in the field of battle.
Oh snap!
But yeah, that's
I do want to know where I want to know where the rest of the kids are, but I don't think I want to know where the rest of the kids are.
maybe this town just didn't have children in this town.
How?
What?
Not possible.
How?
Like almost.
Why would they have a
4,000
playground?
children, and somehow like there are sword agents there. Like, I don't know. It's just really sketchy.
They have a whole playground there.
Okay, so since we're talking about kids, then why does everybody talk about for the children?
Right.
Well, I think that's just a meta thing. I think that's just a Disney, just like, I just think it's a bad, kind of just like the
Oh.
communist joke that they had, you know, where they were like laughing about the fact that, you know, there was a communist in the neighborhood and the men were like, not taking it seriously. I think it was that kind of thing, personally.
You don't think that being that they're talking about for the children and there are no children that's going to kind of play into the story?
It totally will, but you know,
I think they're
just think
talking. They're probably just
that's
talking about
where my
twins.
mind is going.
Creepy.
What if?
Hmm.
What if? I don't know. I'm getting theories like that as they come to me. Yo, what if Wanda? All right, so I'm gonna take Team Wanda real quick, just a little bit, but to a
Come
whole different
on,
extreme.
come on home.
What if Wanda is really the hero?
No.
What? No, check this out though. She saved the universe. Wouldn't she want to save the children? What if some really evil being came and abducted all the children and told her that the only way to get them back is for you to produce children for me? Let's say, okay, let's go with
That's
the
such a
Mephiston
stretch,
theory.
Justin.
And I know it's a stretch, but maybe that's what they meant when they said for the children. In order to get the children back, this whole thing has to play out.
Nah.
You never
That's
know.
so far out of the park.
What do y'all think? What
It
do
is
y'all
out
who
there.
are viewing think? Leave comments down below. What do you think about what Justin just said about for the children? Is Wanda bearing kids for someone else in order to save the children?
No.
I don't know.
We'd love to
All
know
right,
what
so-
you think, because I have no idea what to think.
I'm not even going to touch that one personally.
All right, just to kind of wrap it up, last of all, let's discuss what you're looking forward to in the next episode.
The interaction between Wanda and Quicksilver. That is what I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the most.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to see why he's here. I'm looking forward to having an understanding of the whole Quicksilver thing, how he plays into the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to know why I'm still watching this, because this confuses me more than it gives me answers. That's what I'm looking forward to next episode.
More confusion.
Clarity, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Quicksilver being like, "Hey, you want to meet Dad?" That's definitely what I'm looking forward to. So don't
Stop,
hate on me,
Justin.
y'all.
It's
There
not
you
gonna
go.
happen.
There you go.
Stop hating on me, y'all. Y'all hating.
And what are we talking about? Are we talking about Michael Fassbender? Or are we talking about Gandalf, Dad? What are we
I'm
talking about?
talking about Gandalf. I'm talking about Ian McDermott. I think that's his name.
That
or,
would be nice.
yes.
McKellen.
McKellen, yeah.
Nah, we want Michael Fassbender, bro.
Yeah,
If we're gonna have Magneto, give
we
us
gotta
Michael
have
Fassbender.
yeah.
He
we
was
can't
cool.
have,
Like I didn't
Gandalf,
dislike his Magneto. It's just something about Ian McKellen that was really iconic. It was.
I don't even think Disney
Let him
could
stay as
afford to hire
Gandalf.
him for this TV show right now, to be honest.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Huh?
Say it one more time.
Oh, I said I don't think Disney could afford to hire Ian McKellen for this TV show right now.
Disney owns everybody.
Come on,
and
for one
everything.
episode, they could bring him in for an episode at
They
least.
could do one episode.
And then they could have a reality warp where we no longer see him, and then you get your Michael Fist bent, whatever.
Yeah.
Michael
You
Fassbender,
just
my
want
man.
that fan service,
It's
Justin.
Yes,
You
I
looking for the
need it.
fan service.
Yes, I need it, please. Please. Give me my fan service.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. Were you about to say something, Amber?
No.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. I don't. I already know your answer, son. So, but I want to hear your answer anyway. That's bad parenting, yo. What are y'all thoughts when Wanda was talking to her kids, saying, um, "You can't just bring things back to life when you lose them. You got to learn to deal with it," knowing that she herself essentially brought Vision back to life. Like, what's your thoughts there with that whole her explaining that to the kids, but kind of being hypocritical
Can I can
and
I go
at the
first?
same
Can I go
Yeah,
first?
go ahead.
all this vitriol coming our
I,
way. Come
I
on,
give
son.
I give Wanda props for that because she wants her kids to be better than she is. She's
Really?
trying to teach them
Hmm.
to be better than what she was. She, of course, they don't know that, but she's like, I know this is wrong, but I can't do it. But that I want you guys to grow up and be better than what I am.
Hmm.
So don't do this. So that
Okay,
was
son.
I props to her for that one. Cause I was a bitter way Bill when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, how dare you? But the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a good
Mm.
parent right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any parent that has a love for the kids wants their kids to be better than they were. I don't want you to do the same stuff. I did this. It's not okay for you.
So it's hypocritical, but she should know because she's experienced it.
Mm.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. She raised it. If Vision is really alive, she raised them. She's not in the process of continuously raising them. So
Right.
is that still hypocritical? Because essentially that's in her past.
Maybe she
Essentially.
regrets it now. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yo.
I mean, I think that
Because
she's
like they
totally.
don't know the toll that it probably took on her. Like it could have been a really big thing for her to raise him, but she was willing to do that. But she also knows probably will never do this again.
I mean, just even hearing you say that, and what we were talking about throughout this conversation, I feel like Wanda does everything on her own in a dark corner. I mean, just like all of her big stuff, when she just loses her brother, she loses her parents, she loses her husband twice, she raises him, all of this on her own and wants what she wants, like in this tight little corner. Like, I don't think that she's totally okay. And then, especially when the kids asked her, about her brother, like, do you have a brother? And she was like, I do. And I was like, no, you don't. He's dead. And he's been dead for years. It just like kept, I noticed that. And it was just so crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, he's dead. Um,
Hmm.
so, it wasn't so hard for you to say I did, And also, just as Vision was saying earlier on in the episode, like, the family, the husband, the wife, and the kids, they need to get to know each other a little bit more. They need to spend more time together. And so there's a lot about her that her kids don't know. They might be able to, whatever, with their weird powers, know about her powers, but they don't know about her heart, that kind of stuff.
Mm.
But can you remind me? My dog's in the back. Can you remind me of the question, Cody?
Just what are your thoughts on how she was teaching her kids to kind of handle death and not to use your powers to raise the dead, deal with it, although she, I don't know how long ago, whether it was days, months, I don't know how long she's been in this bubble, but although she in the past raised Vision essentially from the dead.
Hmm.
I think it was just lip service. I think they were just kind of empty words because things are moving way too quickly. The kids age way too quickly throughout a day. And her marriage with Vision is progressing and also hitting snags like really, really quickly, and she's not really dealing with anything. Um, I mean, besides from like not killing people, when she leaves the bubble. But yeah, I think she just said it because it was the right thing to say. But I don't think that she's really there to actually make sure that the kids are brought up right, with the progression of time to make sure that they're able to make the right decisions and respond accordingly when things happen in life that they can't control or things that aren't comfortable as which is why they were having that conversation in the first place. I just don't think that it was real yet.
But Eric, hold on. Let me go for her defense again.
Okay.
Because she literally, with her body language even was like she went down to their level. Like
Mhm.
she literally got down on one knee, put a hand on both of them, and had a heart to heart.
Yeah,
Like
she
I
did.
think she really meant that.
I think she meant it too, but like I said, it's just words. Her kids don't know her yet. They don't know who she is. Maybe then they'll be able to have a little bit more compassion on themselves if they learn about like the failures of their own parents, that kind of stuff. Like,
I see where you.
how are they gonna learn how to not just like, age themselves whenever and resurrect whoever or whatever whenever, when they don't even know that their uncle is not alive, that he is dead, that she had a brother but he's dead, just that verbiage.
But I think with that too, I see what you're saying. But I think too, like there's certain things with kids that you gotta wait for age. Like Jam knows my failures. My little ones don't know my failures like that. But Jam, he's older. He can handle it, and so he can know things about me that his two little brothers cannot right now. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean? So I
scary.
think that's the same thing that kind of plays in with Wanda as well. And so even with the verbiage of saying, I have a brother, because he's dead, do you not have him?
I know you were gonna
Essentially,
say that. I know you
you
were
know,
going to say that. I was
you know what
thinking
I
that
mean?
myself too. I'm being too hard on her, but that's what I'm saying. Like time is against her. Everything is moving way too fast.
Yeah.
Way too fast. She might be, a reality stone, powered, superhero, but like, at the end of the day, like, unlike Vision, she's still a created being, and we clearly see, that there are things that are against her, and I'm rooting for her to be able to rise to the occasion and make it on the other side of whatever this is, because she might have everything that she wants right now, but it's not what she needs, so whatever.
Nice.
How about you, Justin?
And let's close it out with this, Justin. We're over the hour mark, bro.
Oh.
Well, all right. Well, we're gonna end on a dark note because I got another dark theory for y'all. What if? And this would explain why Wanda said what she said to the children. It would explain for the children. It would explain why there are no children in Westview, all in one. What if, in order to gain her children to get everything she wanted, because you know about witches, some of the most powerful dark magic comes from sacrifice, and
Sacrifice?
especially sacrifice, and especially child sacrifice. So you see where it's going. I know that's really dark, really evil. But what
Nope, we ain't
if?
gonna do that to Wanda, yo.
Dang, Wanda, I can't
Yeah,
believe
come
you,
on, give
Wanda.
her a break. Like, come on, you
Dang.
talking about me? Give her a break.
Let me stop.
Jeez,
I just
just
had to
tear
play
this
the
woman apart.
I had to play Mephisto's advocate real quick. You know.
We're gonna have to put an X on your screen when it's time for this to upload, bro.
Yeah, that was brutal. I think
Yo, cause she's
crazy to
like,
that.
kids, don't go the way that I did. I did something very evil to get what I want now, so y'all can't do this. I think that's what she was saying. But anyway, I don't know. Who knows? What do you think down in the comments? I'm crazy. I know I'm trying to make Wanda seem like this is super evil, but it's some dark stuff going on, y'all. You never know.
Yeah, this is a dark show. Whatever's happening.
No, but I'm looking forward to the most thing I'm looking forward to next episode is Magneto showing up. Praise the Lord. And dang, that made him sneeze when I said Magneto. Hold on, let me try it again. Magneto. He
You talking
allergic to
about
good
that Ian Mc whatever, yo.
Ian McCullen.
McCullen.
Sir.
Sir Ian
Fly, you
McKellen.
fools.
That's right.
Anyway, so let us know, what are you thinking down in the comments? What did you love about this episode? What do you think's happening with Quicksilver? What do you think's happening with the children? Let us know your thoughts, your theories, and all of that good stuff down in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and yeah.
And don't forget to share. Definitely, Wanda's trying to save the children by having somebody else's children. Like, give him a hard time. Don't let Justin go with that one.
Come on, I try to save it, then I try to demonize it, man. Which one y'all want? Terrible. Anyway, peace, y'all. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Yes.
All right.
Good night, guys.